So today is Christmas, and my daughter and I have a tradition that every Christmas we get up and we watch It's a Wonderful Life. She is about to go on a mission. She was super excited. I'm going to get up at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, whatever. Dad and I are going to sit and watch It's a Wonderful Life. And she was mentioning this yesterday to me, expressing her excitement to do it. It's something that I think has become very special to her. And I mentioned to her, I said, well, we can't watch it on Amazon. Well, why can't we watch it on Amazon, she asks. Well, I've been reading posts all over, Amazon edited the movie. As I had heard that they edited the movie the previous day or two, I went and I kind of read a story on it, and it sounded as though there was a whole section, a retrospective part of his life where he didn't see what the world was like without himself. Is what I read that was edited out of the movie. But, and that's sad. I think it really is a really important part of the movie. I felt sad that it had been edited rather than just playing the whole movie. I saw people that I know that were expressing their frustration that it had been edited. But I've got a copy. And so we didn't watch it on Amazon. We pulled out the copy that we had and we watched that instead, which is unedited. So the second half of this, I was sitting watching the movie with my kids, and it got to the part where we were watching was George Bailey had come into the house after the savings and loan had lost all the money. And he was, up to here, he was... you could tell he was short. You could tell he was frustrated. He was unsure about himself, unsure about his business, his home, his future. And he walks into his house and there's frustration and there's chaos and kids are playing the piano and kids are crying and he's got to deal with family things, and one kid's in bed sick, because she walked home because she was given a flower and so her coat was undone, and got in a fight with the teacher's husband on the phone, and all of this stuff, all this built up, and the problems with the house, and it just felt like one thing after another after another. My kids were asking me what was going on, and I started to try to explain to them the challenges that parents have in their lives. A father and a mother are so concerned about how am I going to take care of my family? How am I going to care for my children? How am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to overcome all the challenges in my life? And sometimes when they come home and they're confronted with the challenges of their family and their children, and they have a difficult time coping with all of that. And in the case of George Bailey, he started flipping things over and breaking things, and then left the house. A child, a lot of times, I think, can see that acting out and think that they're to blame. When in actuality, the complexities of life are so much deeper than that. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not a therapist. But as I was trying to explain it to my kids, I felt myself feeling that emotion, and I felt myself feeling it, and I felt myself feeling that burden. And I was recognizing and seeing in George Bailey what I've seen at times in myself. That you feel like you're confronted with so many challenges that feel at times defeating or insurmountable. and you do all that you can, and you know, to juggle everything that you have to do in your life, and everything that you have to manage, and everything that you're a caretaker over and responsible for. And it's overwhelming. It can be. I know at those times in my life when I've felt those things, and I've felt that burden in my life, and it's been more than once I felt it in my life. I've been so amazed that I can kneel down and pray, and all of those troubles, all of that weight can be lifted off. I'm not a perfect dad by any means. I really am not. And I'm not even a perfect prayer. And I know by making that statement, it makes me feel like, or possibly sound like, oh wow, every time I pray, I get an answer. I don't. But there have been a lot of times when I have felt the weight of the world on my shoulders, and kneeling down and kneeling down and praying, immersing myself and communing with God for relief. He's given it, and He's lifted that weight off of my shoulders, and He's lifted the frustrations, and He's lifted the in a sense almost hopelessness off of my shoulders. Again, I don't share that to say I'm good at praying. I say it because all of us at times face those burdens. They may be different burdens, but they're burdens nonetheless, and all of us face them. All of us can find that same relief and support. All of us have the potential, by turning our hearts to God, to have that weight lifted off our shoulders and carried by our Savior. And if you don't know God, and if you don't know that He can do that, or even if you're unsure, have a seed of faith. Exercise the seed of faith. Test it. Start praying to God. Start seeing, in the Book of Mormon and the Book of Alma, that talks about, having a seed and planting it and nourishing it, watering it, tending to it, and that seed over time will grow and become a tree. You don't know that God can't answer your prayers if you never plant the seed. You never take that seed and put it in the ground and put some water on it. You never know, you will never know, that God can help you with your burdens and make your burdens light. So I'd encourage you to do so. Take the seed, put it in the ground, water it, nurture it, and give it a little bit of time. Exercise that seed of faith, and God can answer your prayers too and make your burdens light as well. So it's a great movie, absolutely beautiful movie.